Hey guys, what's going on? It's Rekt Capital and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about whether this is the very beginning of a new Bitcoin correction. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future, and let's dive right in. Straight off the bat, no, it's not the beginning of a new correction if we compare it to this one, for instance. I'm not going to say that we're going to see such a correction like this because we've probably bottomed at this green area inside this 2939K region. So let's focus on the short term first, and then let's work our way to the higher time frames. So this was the market structure right over here, multi-week higher low, inability to turn it back into support really, fake breakout, then a failed support test. Effectively, this continuing to figure as a resistance, this trend line being lost, so this market structure being lost as well. So overall, this trend line is going to continue being a resistance, and that's going to weigh down on price, prompting a rejection. So we are seeing a bit of a pullback ever since losing this higher low. Now moving on to the weekly time frame, you can see here that this is the demand area that we're watching for. And I want to break this down into a few key elements. So first of all, this is a resistance area, right? Because if we break out from this range and then we successfully retest this range with this downside wick and then rally towards this area of resistance, that's going to be a resistance, right? And it's going to reject price. But the thing about that is that we got a weekly close above this resistance area in the same way that we got a weekly close above this red resistance area, which was later successfully retested as a support with scope, definite scope for downside wicking, but ultimately rebounding from there. So we got a weekly close above this resistance area, much like we did a few weeks back. So now we should be in the retest attempt phase of this area, just like we were right over here. So if the weekly closes, or at least if we see throughout the end of the week, throughout this week, that we see some downside wicking, but ultimately we close in a way that we're still inside this orange area, or the candle is a little bit thinner and there's a long downside wick, that's probably going to be a sign for a retest attempt, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to claim this old resistance area as a new support, because in the past we haven't seen much rejection from this orange area. We've only seen it as a support. Here's a support here, perhaps even here, though not picture perfect here, but then in a very easy breakdown. So now we're back into this orange area, trying to turn it into support. And that's what we're doing at the moment. It's a retest attempt. Of course, if we weekly close below here, then that's probably going to confirm a breakdown, a failed retest attempt, in which case we're just going to revisit this range. And we'll probably get a higher low to this low right over here, wherever the case may be. But we'd be in this range. Basically, Bitcoin's trying to just give us an idea. Is it going to be in this range? No, it's not, because it's broken out from there. Confirm the breakout from here. Or is it going to be in this range going forward? And at the moment, it's trying to retest the very top of that range like it did right over here. So of course, remember, this over here is a low and this is a higher low, right? That's a higher low already. How much lower could this potential weekly candle go while still maintaining the higher low and then rebounding from here? Because at the moment it is a higher low, turning this into a support at the moment. Retest attempt still intact. But of course, if we get a weekly close below this orange area, which is around 43, I think it is at this point in time, then we might have to think about this area, which would be perfectly fine. At the moment, we also have to bear in mind the 21-week EMA, which is a valuable time-tested bull market indicator. If we're above it, it's a bull market. If we're below it, it's a bear market. But we also get fake breakdowns beyond, or at least below the EMA. But we also get fake breakouts beyond the EMA. So the key to confirming a breakdown or a breakout we have to turn the EMA into a support or a resistance. So right over here, if we got this 21-week EMA confirming as a resistance, that could have been a bad sign. That could have actually confirmed to us, or at least been a very initial confirmation of a new bear market happening. But the fact that we've retested it as a support over here and rallied, now that gives us some confidence that this bull market is back on track, especially if we're able to retest this once again as a support, and that doesn't need to happen. But if there is a possibility, and it certainly is one, should this pullback spiral a bit more out of control into the 40s, that would be a retest attempt right over here, and that would be something worth watching for, especially downward wicks beyond, or at least below, the EMA. So at the moment, this is a pullback, but it's not going to be a crash. This mid-cycle correction appears to be over. We're probably going to be setting in higher lows right now, and the whole idea here is trying to pinpoint where that higher low is going to be, but we're not looking for a bottom because we got that bottom already, the generational bottom. But we're probably going to be looking for a local bottom now. And where that bottom is, well, the 21-week EMA is one worth watching for. This, of course, is the demand area that needs to be retested for further upside. If we can't claim that region, then we're probably going to go to the 40s over here. You can see that the 40s are near the lower side of the range, which ties in with the 21-week EMA. And if we get downside wicking like we saw over here, then we'd probably see a repeat of this scenario, right? Of wicking below the 21-week EMA, wicking into those mid-30s. But of course, not possible, or at least it's not a guarantee. In any case, guys, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future. Thanks so much for tuning in. Once again, I'm Rekt Capital, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Speak to you soon.